At Forrester Creations, where fashion headlines often mask the shifting power dynamics beneath, the battle lines were being redrawn not on the runway, but behind closed doors. What began as a custody conversation between Katie Logan and Bill Spencer quickly evolved into something far more calculated. This wasn't just about a child. This was about legacy, control, and long-term dominance. Bill and Katie weren't simply stepping into the role of guardians. They were leveraging parenthood into power. And the target wasn't just the child. It was Luna, and through her, Forrester Creations. The situation started, publicly at least, as an emotional response. A child had been conceived under murky circumstances, with Luna Nozawa carrying Will Spencer's baby after a night wrapped in misidentification, manipulation, and alcohol-fueled missteps. While the press speculated and the Forresters reeled from yet another scandal, Bill saw a different picture. A rare window of opportunity. A chance not only to protect his family name, but to secure its next chapter in the most advantageous way possible. He didn't approach it with rage. He approached it with precision. Strategic, cold, purposeful. With Katie by his side, the former couple found a surprising synchronicity. Their shared concern for Will quickly became a blueprint for something greater. Bill framed it plainly. If we gain custody, it won't just be about raising a child. It's about reinforcing the Spencer brand. Protecting Will from Luna's instability. Yes, but also creating a narrative of strong paternal values, united family front, and generational continuity. That kind of move echoes through boardrooms just as loudly as through courtrooms. Katie, who once resisted Bill's more ruthless tendencies, saw the merit in this plan. Not because she wanted to punish Luna, but because she saw a dangerous pattern forming. Luna was unpredictable, emotionally volatile, and hiding too many truths. Her lineage was entangled in deception and scandal. Sheila Carter's blood ran through her veins. And no matter how much Luna denied it, it showed in her actions. Katie feared that if Luna remained at the center of the child's life, so would chaos. Together, Bill and Katie began moving the chess pieces. The first step was legal. Quiet inquiries to family court judges. Preliminary paperwork filed discreetly. Discussions with Will, whose shock had started to settle into a mix of confusion and guilt. About his future, his responsibility, and what he wanted. Will didn't say the words directly, but his silence told them everything. He wasn't ready to be a father, and he didn't trust Luna. The next step was optics. Bill arranged for carefully staged press moments. Photos of him with Will, Katie nearby, framed in soft lighting and smiling sincerity. Public statements about supporting our son through an unexpected situation and providing a stable environment for future generations. The media lapped it up. Investors noticed. Forrester's own PR team couldn't ignore it. And suddenly, the Spencer family name, so often associated with scandal, was beginning to glow again. But the third step, the one that mattered most, was direct negotiation. And that meant Luna. Katie was the first to reach out, requesting a quiet meeting at a private club in Beverly Hills. No lawyers, no media, just her and Luna. Luna, uncertain but curious, arrived nervous but composed. Katie wasted no time. We're offering you an arrangement, she began. We don't want to destroy you. We're not looking to drag this through the courts. But you're carrying Will's child, and that child is a Spencer. That matters. Luna bristled. I'm not a threat to your family. You're not stable either, Katie replied calmly. You've lied. You've manipulated. You've hurt people, Will included. But we're willing to offer you security, financial support, legal protection, discretion. In return, we want shared custody. Eventually, primary custody. Luna stared at her, stunned. You want me to sign over my child? Katie didn't blink. We want you to understand the long-term benefit, for you, for the child, and for Will. If you agree, we're prepared to back you publicly. Reframe your image. Offer you design mentorship, even opportunities at Forrester. You'll have protection you've never had before. It was a bribe, plain and simple, but it was the kind that Luna had never been offered before, power, wrapped in stability. Still, she hesitated. And if I say no? Katie's eyes narrowed. Then we go public. We bring up your record, your family history, your past with drugs, deception, and what you did to Steffi. It won't be hard to sway a judge. Luna left the meeting shaken. Katie had done what few could, shaken her confidence. And while Luna had no intention of abandoning her child, she couldn't ignore the walls closing in. Bill Spencer's reach extended far. And now, she wasn't just dealing with a broken romance or public backlash. She was facing a full-scale assault from one of the most powerful families in Los Angeles. But the story didn't end there. Bill, always 2 steps ahead, used his growing influence to insert himself into Forrester's financial circles. With Eric's death still fresh, and Ridge distracted by the chaos within his own family. Bill offered stability. A Spencer investment branch interested in helping Forrester expand internationally. He pitched it as a lifeline, not a takeover. But everyone knew what it was: leverage. Carter Walton saw it instantly and confronted Ridge. If you let him in now, he'll never leave. He'll use the baby, the public goodwill, and his image as a redeemed father to position Spencer Publications right next to our board. Ridge knew it too, but Forrester was vulnerable. The Luna scandal was dragging the brand's image into shaky territory. A Spencer alliance, even one as loaded as this, might be the only thing keeping them from further collapse. Meanwhile, Hope Logan, caught between her brother Dickie's ambitions and her growing disillusionment with the company. Politics. Tried to offer Luna quiet support. But Luna wasn't looking for comfort. She was preparing for war. She began compiling her own files. Her own leverage. Messages, photos, recordings, anything that might discredit Bill's sudden reinvention. And more importantly, documents that tied Bill's team to a manipulated paternity test she suspected had been tampered with. She didn't trust the Spencer machine. She wasn't going to give them her child. And then came the shock. A leaked report, anonymous, unverified, claiming that Luna had offered to terminate the pregnancy in exchange for cash. The public turned again. Supporters vanished. Endorsement offers evaporated. It was a lie, and it worked. Katie and Bill denied involvement. But their silence said enough. At Forrester, the lines hardened. Brooke began siding with Bill, her old loyalties too tangled to ignore. Ridge held the center, but even he knew the pressure from the Spencers was growing. And behind it all, Will watched quietly, his life now dictated by lawyers, PR handlers, and corporate strategy. By the end of the week, Luna was backed into a corner. Alone, discredited, attacked from every direction. But she wasn't broken, because Luna Nozawa, daughter of Poppy and granddaughter of Sheila Carter, knew how to fight from the shadows. And she had nothing left to lose. Katie and Bill thought they had secured their victory. But they forgot one thing: no one comes out clean when playing with bloodlines. Especially not on The Bold and the Beautiful. The power play had worked. Katie Logan had gotten exactly what she wanted. The custody agreement had been signed, under duress, under pressure, under legal suffocation. Luna, bruised by scandal, buried by the media storm, and isolated from every ally, had given in. She'd agreed to give primary custody of her unborn child to Katie and Bill. With vague, uncertain visitation rights to be reviewed at a later date. She hadn't even made it through her third trimester before the ink was dry. Katie had smiled, played the part of the concerned protector. The woman doing what was best for the child, for the Spencer name. In public, she was Grace. In private, she was Ice. Once the papers were signed, she cut off communication with Luna entirely. No updates, no conversations, just silence. But silence wasn't enough. Because Luna still existed. Luna still had a voice, still had blood ties, and more dangerously, Luna still had secrets. There were whispers in Forrester Creations, quiet mutterings that Luna had kept files. That she was planning something. That the surrender was temporary. That she'd found something that could unravel everything. Katie knew the game well enough to understand that when people feel like they've lost everything, that's when they're most dangerous. And Luna had nothing left. So Katie made a decision. It was quiet, clinical, cold. She used a shell company. A private contact. The kind of favor that doesn't come with a paper trail, just a result. The request was simple: make it look like an accident. Luna had been keeping a low profile, staying at a modest apartment on the edge of the city, far from the Forrester mansion, far from Will, and far from the child she would soon deliver but no longer raise. That night, she left her building just after 9 p.m., headed to a small clinic where she'd been seeing a midwife privately. She crossed a street she always crossed. Same time, same pattern, except this time, a car didn't stop. It came fast, lights off, no screeching brakes, just impact, and then darkness. The security footage was grainy. The driver never found. The license plate unreadable. The vehicle later reported stolen, then torched in a scrapyard 20 miles away. Luna was rushed to the hospital. The baby survived. She did not. The news broke at dawn. The city woke to the headline: Tragedy strikes Forrester family. Luna Nozawa dead in hit and run. Ridge was silent. Brooke wept. Hope, shattered. Carter clenched his fists so tight his palms bled. And Finn? Finn screamed. A scream that didn't echo, it stayed, suspended in the air, too full of grief to land. His sister. His blood. Dead. Alone. On a street. But one person didn't flinch. Katie Logan. She watched the coverage with unreadable eyes. Her hand never trembled. She held the baby that had survived. The child Luna had carried. The baby that now belonged to her and Bill. She rocked it slowly, rhythmically. A picture-perfect scene. Rest now, she whispered. You're safe. You're where you belong. But not everyone believed it was an accident. Deacon Sharp started asking questions. He remembered seeing Luna weeks before, terrified, claiming she was being followed. That someone was watching her. He remembered how she'd begged him not to tell anyone she was looking into the custody documents. How she believed they were forged. Finn dove into hospital records. He found inconsistencies. Luna had a scheduled follow-up the next morning. Why go out at night? And the stolen car? Registered out of state. Professionally disposed of. Dickie Sharp, fresh off his rejected portfolio and angry with how FC operated behind the scenes, hacked into Forrester's security archive. He found footage of Katie meeting with a private contractor weeks before Luna's death. The man's face was obscured. The audio was corrupted, but the timestamp matched. The look in Katie's eyes was unmistakable. The whispers started inside Forrester. What did Katie do? Was it grief? Power? Paranoia? Did she just want the baby or did she want Luna gone? And in the shadows, Elektra, now closer to Dickie than ever, began connecting dots of her own. She found one of Luna's hidden voice memos. The last one, unsent. If anything happens to me, look at Katie. Look at the custody agreement. Look at the night of the gala. I was tricked. I signed under threat. They're going to bury me. Don't let them bury the truth too. Elektra sent it to Finn. Then she disappeared. Finn confronted Katie. In the Forrester boardroom. Just the two of them. You had her killed. Katie blinked slowly. Watch your words. You wanted the child. You got it. You didn't need her alive to raise it. I protected my son. I protected my family. You executed mine. Silence. She didn't confess. She didn't deny. She just left the room. The baby, Will and Luna's, was named Alara. A Spencer by name. Raised in the Logan mansion. Given every luxury. But as she grew, the story of her mother would not disappear. Luna's name began to echo again, in art, in design, in secret files passed among staff. A woman wronged. A woman erased. A woman who warned the world before it was too late. Katie had won. But the storm hadn't passed. It was only circling. And blood always calls back what power tries to bury. Even in the bold and the beautiful.